morning. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it is my privilege and honor to be invited as one of the keynote speakers of this very esteemed gathering of professionals, experts, and scientists in the field of earthquake and structural engineering. So I'm also equally happy that we are now doing our 9th Asia Conference on Earthquake Engineering, which started in 2004 in the Philippines. So as we move on, we know that we are not only engineers. We don't only build structures to shelter people, but we are also engineers that build and make structures that protects lives. So I'd like to give you a background first of what the Association of Structural Engineers is. So the ASEP, or the Association of Structural Engineers of the Philippines, is the premier structural engineering organization of the Philippines. In the Philippines, we have both civil engineering organization, and then we have the structural engineering organization. And ASEP was established in 1961. During those times, there's a need for the Philippines to have an organization that would deal with developing the codes and standards as we are fast developing. So the ASEP is, as I've said, the ASEP was founded in 1961, and we are now in its 65 years of existence. So the primary objective of ASEP is to ensure that in the Philippines, to ensure that the structural engineering practice of the Filipinos are up to date. And part of our function is to develop the National Structural Code of the Philippines. So to date, we have had 7 editions of the NSCP. The NSCP has been around since the 1960s and is now in its 7th iteration. At present, we are developing primarily the NSCP is based on American standards. The Philippines follow American codes and standards in the design of our structures. And to date, we are presently developing, and hopefully by the end of this year, we should be coming up with the 8th iteration of the NSCP, which is NSCP 2026. So, but in reality, the codes governs the design of buildings, and especially for the NSCP, it deals primarily with the design of buildings to make it stand strong earthquakes and winds. But codes improve over time, but are codes enough to make buildings stand? So if we take a look at the Philippines experiences about 20 earthquakes per day. And then we experience about strong earthquakes felt per year. And for the last 400 years, we have had 90 very strong earthquakes. And if you look at our Philippine map, you would notice that nearly the rest of the Philippines has had experienced very strong earthquakes, except for areas near the western portion of Palawan, wherein we have very little earthquake. But the Philippines, in terms of zoning, is under Zone 4. The rest of the Philippines is under Zone 4, and only portions of the Philippines are designed where buildings are designed under Zone 2, which is Palawan, Sulu, and Tawi-Tawi, very small areas in the Philippines. So also, if we look at the Asian region, we have experienced a lot of earthquakes since the early 1990s up to 2000. Significant of these are the 1990 Luzon earthquake in the Philippines, where we experienced a very strong earthquake in the northern part of the Philippines. In this earthquake, we lost about 200 million in damages, US dollars, during the time in damages. And these are the other earthquakes that affected the Asian countries during those years. No? So for me, what is significant about this, I just graduated in the university in 1990 when I first experienced the North Luzon earthquake. And then also, I was part of the investigation team and the volunteer in the 1999 Chichi earthquake. So during those times, in the 1990s, I was already a young structural engineer. So we investigated a number of damaged structures in the northern part of the Philippines. The damage was great because one of the major cities in the northern part of the Philippines, Baguio, was severely damaged. So during that time as a young engineer, I was tasked to do inspections and retrofitting of a number of buildings. And in the 1999 Chichi earthquake, the association was asked by the Philippine government to send a number of volunteers. There were 19 of us Filipino civil engineers who went to Chichi earthquake to check on various buildings to do rapid assessment of structures. These two experiences inculcated in me the need for the design of good buildings, construction of good buildings, and the need for a quick response in times of earthquake disasters. So during those times, those earthquakes that happened in the early 1990s brings about certain consciousness among the ASEP engineers and ASEP officers. No? In the Philippines, ASEP has been doing a lot of international conventions. We have been doing this in the 1960s. However, we have not yet visualized any convention that would engage more practitioners all over Asia. So in 2004, the officership or the leadership of the association thought of coming up with a conference specifically targeted for Asia. We have known at that time that there are world conferences that for earthquake engineering, but we have not yet known or seen or have experienced any conference in Asia. So we have decided that maybe it's time for the association to initiate the first Asia conference on earthquake engineering. So in 2004, during my presidency in the ASEP, we decided that maybe we should start a multidisciplinary forum among researchers and practitioners, engaging both the policymakers, the researchers, the end users, and other stakeholders, and make them understand the effects of earthquake and try to reduce its effect through various collaborations and cooperations. So this is the first conference handout that we had in 2004. So you would see here the first International Advisory Committee. I am happy to inform you that Dr. Warnie Chai and Dr. Yamazaki, Dr. Andres Oreta, who are here, has been supporting the ACEE for the last 9 iterations. No? So through the years, ACEE had is being promoted in various countries in Asia. No? So in 2004, it was initially established in the Philippines, and in the second ACEE was also done in the Philippines. We are during that time we are trying to expand the network by communicating with various experts in different countries all over Asia. And in 2010, the ACEE transferred to Bangkok, no? And then subsequently, in the ACE, the fourth ACE was held in Japan. This is where we had the largest number of papers in terms of volume, no? So, and then it transferred now to Taipei, Taiwan, through the efforts of NCREE and it came back to the Philippines in 2016. So subsequently, Bangkok, Taipei also handled the promotions and conferences of the ACEE during the 7th and 8th ACEE. And now, we are now in the 9th ACEE in Kathmandu, Nepal. So, the Philippines has had a number of major earthquakes, no? And since the 1990, which I have described to you, a number of key impacts have devastated the country, no? So for the last so many years, 1990s, 2002, and 2000 now, and in 2022, we have experienced large magnitude earthquakes, and most of the impacts are the same. We have massive destruction in 1990, which I have described to you, and we have had multiple building failures and a wide range of damage over these different earthquakes. And these different earthquakes has given the Philippines a number of lessons, and we have provided that we have provided continuous efforts in mitigating these damages through the revisions of our codes. No? For the last so many years, since the 1990s, we have had experienced these earthquakes, and we have noticed that most of the damages that we have incurred are nearly identical or nearly similar. No? So these are photos of the 1990 earthquakes, building collapse because of soft stories, 1990 earthquakes due to liquefaction, and then the 2012 earthquakes because of poor construction, 2013 earthquakes where massive old churches built with masonry was damaged, and in 2019, when we have a relatively newer building, is also damaged. No? So from these experiences, we have established, and maybe it would be the same for the same countries, for similar countries which have experienced, or maybe Nepal, which have experienced numerous earthquakes for the past so many years. No, so based on our researches and findings, this damage are brought about by poor design and construction, soft-storage mechanisms, liquefaction and ground failure, non-engineered and masonry structures are very highly vulnerable to these earthquakes. Old existing structures are prone to damage. Likewise, lifeline structures and landslides and geohazards are major killers. No? So, given this repeated damages, these repeated damages through a series of decades starting from the 1990 give us warnings that we are not doing our structures right, we are not doing our designs correct, or we're not implementing codes for better resilience of the buildings. So and as we look at these different more recent earthquakes in Asia, the same damages are experienced, like particularly because of the Tohoku earthquake in 2011, which caused a lot of damage because most of these earthquakes are affected vulnerable and highly dense areas. No? So what can ACE collaboration further? How can we further enhance our collaboration to address these earthquakes? So earthquakes are not becoming dramatically stronger, but as you have seen, their consequences are getting worse due to urban density, inadequate code implementation, and poor construction. Also, there are a number of aging infrastructure. So our profession must move from code compliance to performance assurance. Maybe we can rethink code requirements for life safety may not be suitable anymore. We may need to define performance of buildings as deeper than life safety. Also, individual designs of buildings may not be adequate. We might need to look into life cycle resilience, wherein we know the damages and then we correct them and then we adapt to future hazards. No? Also, there may be a need for us not to look only at individual buildings, but ensure that all the other aspects in the area affected by these earthquakes are looked into to ensure continuous operations of various buildings and utilities. No? So why do I think ACE is important to the Philippines, to Asia, and to the rest of the world? So with all the 8 ACEs that had passed through, the ACE has greatly contributed in the co-development of the Philippines. The different topics, the different issues, the new knowledge and experience that were brought out during the conferences held in the ACE has helped us in the ASEP develop the National Structural Code of the Philippines. It also enhances our knowledge on how to design buildings properly, bridges, and infrastructures. In fact, in the ASEP, after the first ACE, we started various collaboration with NCREE and AIT Consulting. I think for the rest of the countries participating in ACE, like Nepal, we can take this opportunity to meet with distinguished experts in developed countries in also developing our own standards, like what we did in the ASEP. No? In the 8 ACE, that a paper triggered the finalization of an application that the ASEP is doing. In ASEP, we are also active in disaster mitigation as an offshoot of our experience during the Chichi earthquake. And this year, we are finally launching our DMPR app that is called Disaster Mitigation, Preparedness, and Resilience Application. This app enables us to do actual post-earthquake inspections using an app. No? So that will be presented in one of the papers for the next 3 days. No? So the ACE also gives and provides access to global research. With all the papers, with all the experts that we have, we are able to determine various advanced technologies, approaches, and methodologies in designing buildings. It has also become a platform for regional collaboration. No? So we share our knowledge to different engineers, researchers, and even policy makers. No? So one thing the ACE does also, it bridges developed and developing nations. No? So for the Philippines, we have had the opportunity to engage with experts from Japan, Thailand, Taiwan, to discuss various advancements and various methods that can help improve our practice in the Philippines. Also, what is unique is the ACE addresses Asian challenges. No? So like dense urban populations, informal settlements, and aging infrastructures. So the ACE really provides us with this important venue for us to further improve our earthquake engineering and structural engineering practices and methodologies. So what then can we do further, for ACEE? Uh, I think I would like to propose that in the future, or the ACE can formalize an ACEE council. At this time, individual experts are brought into the International Advisory Council, and to support the functions of the ACE. However, I think it would be good if we can finally formalize an ACE council composed of organizations, so that there can be a long-term engagement among different countries, organizations in Asia. So ASEP, being the founding organization, can take the initiative to be the ACE Secretariat to coordinate these activities. We would like to also propose that we can conduct yearly meeting among the council members for collaborations and discussions. As of this time, we can only meet the experts every 3 to 4 years during the events of the ACE. But in the future, when we have a more formal council, it is possible that we can have more frequent discussions and collaborations, and even activities that can help each different countries in these collaborations. No? So also in the ACE, we hope that we can expand the ACE more to different Asian countries. No? As of this time, as I've said, no, we have the Philippines, we have Taiwan, we have Japan, and then we have Thailand, and now Nepal, who is participating as host of the ACE conference. And we hope that we can encourage colleagues in the practice to also hold these conferences in their own respective countries and further expand the reach of ACE in Asia. So with that, no, I would like to end my discussion. So it's something that I think most of us would realize. No, earthquakes do not kill people, unsafe systems do. The future of earthquake engineering is not only about resisting forces or building good buildings, but ensuring societies, communities continue to function after the shaking stops. No? So it means that as engineers, as earthquake engineers and structural engineers, we are not only building structures to shelter people, to shelter commerce, and to shelter industries, but we are here to save the lives of people and ensure that communities continue with their operations even after a very strong earthquake. So with that, I end my discussion, and thank you for listening.